Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss a recent interview with Scream 7 director Kevin Williamson as he shares some new information about the film, including what he is most excited for fans to see in Scream 7. Now, I'm going to also share his comments along with my thoughts on what he said and how this new information may impact the storyline. So it's time to get started right now. Let's go!
Hi, everyone. This is Eliza Coleman, the stunt coordinator on Hereditary and Kevin Williamson's film Sick, and you are watching Craving Something Scary.
So Collider interviewed Kevin Williamson just a few days ago, and while discussing his new Netflix series The Waterfront, he took some time to also talk about Scream 7 as well. Now you can read the full article on Collider.com. But let's get into it. The headline reads, "There's always a new killer and a new motive," Kevin Williamson reveals what he's most excited for fans to see. Now the article goes on to say, "Forever one another's cheerleaders," Williamson said that Campbell, talking about Neve Campbell, was the angel on his shoulder, pressing him to pour his vision into the 7th installment. "I did have a conversation with myself 100%. It was not a no-brainer. When Neve Campbell called and the studio called and asked if I would direct it, my first thought was, no. But I knew I had to say yes. It was the weirdest thing in my head. I was just terrified because it's Wes Craven. One of the reasons I moved away from the franchise after 4 was because I didn't want to do it without Wes. One part of me was saying no, but I knew yes was going to come out of my mouth. And I said yes. It was such a weird, surreal moment." I just have to stop here and share my thoughts. And I have to say again how excited I am that Kevin is back to direct this movie. I just so pumped about it. And the words he says here just really shine to me in great ways. Like, for example, the love and respect for Wes Craven and reverence for the franchise that we see here. And even how he's saying, I was terrified because, it's Wes Craven. This is Wes Craven's baby, right? With Scream, the first 4 movies. And he has that reverence for not just Wes, but how he's going to approach the film because he has so much respect for Wes Craven. So it's like a trickle-down effect. And I think that's fantastic. So he's not going to mess this up, guys. I really believe that. I think this 7 is too important to Kevin, and he's going to do things the right way. I think he's done them the right way. Obviously past tense because they're through filming, but he is still editing. So, the final touches are being put into place. Now, I also love that Neve was instrumental to Kevin's return. It wasn't just the studio, calling him and saying, "Hey, Kevin, we really want you to come." No, it was not only that, it was Neve herself that called him and said, "Hey, I think you should really direct this film." And I just think, knowing the script that Neve had already read, she knew what Kevin could bring to this film. And I love that she's 100% behind it and knows it was the right thing as well. So I think it's just, everything aligned. The stars aligned for this to happen. And, even like you said, I didn't want to do it without Wes after the 4th film. But he knew in his mind, if they asked, he would say yes. And he did. And I think it's great. And he's no longer just an executive producer or consultant. like he was to Radio Silence. Now he's the captain of the ship with full control. So I'm very excited about that. Now, next up, Kevin discusses the return of Neve Campbell and his thoughts on Sidney Prescott in Scream 7. It goes on to say, I'm excited because I love Neve Campbell so much and I love the cast. I'm just totally immersed in Sidney Prescott and who she is and everything she's been through and all the different incarnations of her life as seen through the entire franchise. And now what I love about this movie is that we get to go home with her and see who she is today, how she's raising her children, what kind of a person lives through everything she's lived through, and still manages to wake up and get out of bed and be a mother and be a business owner and to be all of these things. What does she do when Ghostface comes calling? It's just another way to tell the story. So yeah, I mean, this is a whole different Sidney Prescott, guys. We've never seen this Sidney. Scream 5, okay, yeah, we saw her with a stroller, and we didn't see her again until the very, after Dewey dies, and then the third act, and that was it. This is different. We're going to really get to see Sidney as a married woman, with a busy home life, with them as a mother, and owning the coffee shop in downtown Pine Grove. So she has got her hands full, and we've never seen Sidney in this type of role as a character. I mean, she's never done these things. This is all new territory for us and for, Guy and Kevin in writing this story. So there's so much they could do. It's just a very different Sidney than we've seen before. And I'm very excited and looking forward to seeing this version of Sidney, where her character is now. The arc from 1 to now will be 7. It's going to be fantastic to watch. I'm really, really ready to see, what she's like at this point in her life. And the question that Kevin posed, what does she do when Ghostface comes calling? And so this, to me, is going to be one of the key things, too. I'm going to be watching for what she does and how she handles this, because it's no longer just her. She has her kids. She's the mama bear. And I'm telling you right now, I think this is going to be one of the most intense and aggressive Sidney Prescotts of any of the franchise. I think it has the potential for her to be an outright, a ruthless, I hate to say ruthless, but in terms of defending her family. She's got all the potential there, the ingredients are there, and I cannot wait to see what we get to find out about her and how she does respond. All right, guys, we'll keep moving. Now, getting back to the article, Kevin shifts gears to share his overall thoughts on Scream 7. And it continues, opening up about the difficulties that the production has faced along the way. Williamson said, "It's really hard. It's Scream 7. Let's not fool ourselves. How do you do that? It's a challenge. You want the audience to be scared and you want them to have a good time, but Scream is a lot more than that. It's comedic, it's dramatic, it's emotional, and it's scary. But it's hard to keep all that alive. You just work really hard to try to keep it fresh and to keep the turns and twists coming." I love that. And he goes on to say, "What I love about Scream is that it can take so many different avenues. Now that it's a franchise, we can go to New York, we can go to a small town, we can go anywhere we want. It's opened and expanded beyond just Woodsboro, California, and that's what I love about Scream. It's broadened and it's grown and it keeps going. There's never one killer. There's always a new killer and a new motive. We have that mystery element. That's what I love about Scream. That's what I wanted it to be, and I'm so blessed that it became what it became." Okay, lots going on here, guys. So he makes a great point. It's the seventh entry in the franchise. You got to work really hard to make this new, but also the DNA of the franchise. And again, I believe with Kevin in charge at the helm, it's going to be all right. They're going to pull it off. And I love what he says about, you work hard to keep it fresh and to keep the turns and twists coming. I love to hear that, guys, because we want more twists and turns, the better. I just love that. You're going down a certain path, you're watching the movie, you think you got it figured out perhaps, and then a twist comes, bam, oh shoot, never mind. Now I got to reshuffle the decks now. That's what I'm looking forward to so much. And he ends it again, just reiterating that he says we have that mystery element. And he says, that's what I wanted it to be, and I'm so blessed that it became what it became. So guys, that to me is Kevin telling us we got a mystery back, guys. The mystery is back. We're going to have it. And I believe it's going to be, again, I believe the potential is there for this to be one of the best Scream films to date. I think it's going to, if they pull off the great mystery, that it was some twists and turns, and they keep us guessing till the very end, I'm telling you, that right there is what's going to make this an amazing film. Not just a great film, an amazing film. And those are some of the things I'm looking forward to in Scream 7. And next, Kevin gets asked the $1 million question, and it's on all of our minds, I know. It says, finally taking a shot at the question on all our minds, as the film is due out in 8 months. Radish was sure to ask, which is the interviewer, was sure to ask about when we should expect to see a trailer. To which Williamson responded, oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm still editing. That's the next phase. So, having him said that, let's look at the past, okay, with Spyglass. The last two trailers, Scream 5 and 6. For Scream 6, it was 94 days before the film release, they launched the trailer. And then for Scream 5, it was 86 days. So the average time between the two is 90 days. So if they're going to continue this 90-day average for Scream 7, that puts the trailer out in late November for the teaser trailer to drop. And which I've been predicting is going to be probably Halloween, or not Halloween, but Thanksgiving week that we get the teaser trailer, the short one. Now, I'm also going to say this. I think it's November. I think it's the end of November. However, I will say I think there's a possibility that we get the teaser trailer in Halloween season in October, the end of October. Perhaps Halloween week. That's a possibility as well. I'll leave that open. But I do say this. I think we will get the first marketing piece, which will be a poster, the official Scream 7 poster. I believe it will drop in September or October for sure. The latest October, we get the first official poster for the movie. That's what starts everything off. All the marketing starts with the poster, and then we start going to the teaser trailer, and then the full trailer, and anything else in between they might have planned. So those are my thoughts on the trailer and the poster, guys. We'll see what happens. Those are my thoughts. So finally, my overall thoughts on what Kevin shared here is, number one, every time I hear him talk about Scream 7, the more excited I get for this movie. And the more I get reassured that the way Kevin approached his role as director is further proving how he genuinely cares about this movie. And it's a big reason why I think this is going to be a very special Scream movie. I'm on record. I believe it's going to be special, guys. I really do. And then number two, I love his specific care for the character of Sidney Prescott. That says a lot to me as well. I mean, when he said that he's totally immersed in Sidney Prescott, it just made me smile, because that's the kind of passion I want to hear from the director of the film. And to hear Kevin say that, again, I just smiled and kind of lit up inside and said, yes, Kevin, this he has got it. He understands it. He gets it. And that's going to translate to the screen. I truly believe that. And lastly, I think we're finally going to get a legitimate murder mystery in Scream 7. It's been a little while, but you know, the kind of mysteries we had in the Wes Craven films, I think we're going to get back to that feeling. A true whodunit style mystery within the film. And when he said we have to have that mystery element, and how that is, you know, how he wanted it to be, and he's proud of what it became, I am so pumped to hear him say that. I am so ready, guys, for an amazing murder mystery element to be strong again, and where we are in the third act, we are guessing. We still don't have a solid feeling for who's doing it. You know, we may have guessed one Ghostface, but we don't know really the whole thing. And that's the feeling I'm waiting for, and I cannot wait to feel again. All right, guys, listen, those are some of my thoughts about Kevin Williamson's most recent comments on Scream 7. But now it's time for my personal part of this video that I love, which is you finding out your thoughts, your ideas, and any theories you may have about what Kevin Williamson has said. And the only way for me to know what you're thinking is for you to share them in the comments with me right now. So, I love reading your comments and theories. I love to find out what you're thinking, and I love to discuss it with you. So right now, guys, start putting your ideas and comments in the comments section below in this video, and let's start a discussion together. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for this update, but I'll be back with more Scream 7 and other horror movie content. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet done so. I greatly appreciate it, guys. So until next time, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thank you for watching.